Greetings and suave evening. I am Dr. Brother Suave, your mind-blowing, thought-provoking, and eye-opening on-air personality, life coach, psychotherapist, author, creator, and your divine social therapist and host of Social Therapy with Dr. Brother Suave. Man, I am so happy. Man, we on episode 6. But before I do anything, I just want to thank God for waking me up with my health, life, and strength. I want to thank God for just allowing me to see another day I never seen before. And lastly, I just thank God for waking me up and having another day to get it right. And I'm just happy for that, man. That is, wow, that's excited. I'm so excited because, listen, there's so many people didn't wake up today. So many people didn't get a chance to make amends, apologize, or just do anything. And I'm just happy that I'm able to see another day I'd never seen before. Okay, so again, I'm excited about episode 6. This is episode 6, and man, we moving forward. Y'all hear me? And moving forward is definitely a blessing. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a blessing. Anytime you're moving forward and making progress. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not. Far too many people have to experience crisis in order for them to wake up and get it. And therefore, they continue to live their lives going backwards. See, when you're confused, it's easy to see things backwards. And sometimes that's just an example and a pattern of a person's life. And some examples are, sometimes, again, so many people do things backwards. So sometimes people want to be in relationships, but they don't want to work on themselves. Sometimes people want to have babies, but they don't want to be married. They want to do things backwards. And sometimes people want to be successful, but they don't want to put in the work. So today, man, we're going to be talking to a very wonderful, brilliant person who put in the work. They understand this life journey, and they're working towards greatness. And, so before I go into it, I want to tell you a little bit about this person and how we met. It was about 5 years, maybe 6, maybe 7. But nevertheless, I was lecturing in Miami, Florida. And so this person happened to come in, and they was on the phone. Anybody know me? I'm very confrontational at times. And I was like, excuse me, you coming in here on the phone and late? Oh, no. And so she gave me the look, and I tell you, looks can kill. But because it's about moving forward, not letting anything stop me, it didn't stop me from lecturing, and it didn't stop her from paying attention. And so I just noticed the greatness and the perseverance and the humility that she had to be able to move forward, and the patience that I had to just try to be a little more patient. But anyway, so this person is a very wonderful person. And she's all about personal growth and development. And so all the time I've been meeting her, she's been growing. And so you know what? I'm not going to even say anymore. I'm just going to sit there and let her tell you a little bit about herself and her journey. So without further ado, we're going to welcome the wonderful Tonda Kennedy. Oh, hello. Man, look at you. Tonda, what you doing? How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing suave tabulous. Listen, I was just telling people about how we met and how I guess a little tense it was initially. So before
very
we do
much,
anything,
very much so.
Tell them about your experience and how you perceived me initially, and then we're gonna go into about you and your journey.
Really? how I perceived you initially?
It's okay. We look where we at now. This is what I'm saying about a journey.
Well, I thought you were a little
If it was confrontational.
Confrontational, you don't talk to me like that. People know you don't talk to Tonda like that. So I was like, first of all, you don't know me, and I don't know how you just came out of left like that, but I'm not gonna, this is my girl function, so I'm not gonna show out. But yeah, you came strong out the gate. I mean, not even a hello, you just was like, and I'm like, hey, you don't pay my bill, what do you mean, get off my phone? And yeah, you were Yeah, you were asking for it, but hey, yeah, we grew from that. We definitely grew
Yes.
from
Yeah. And that's one of the things about the growth. Sometimes it starts off, but at the end of the day, it may not be the messenger, may not be the nicest person, but sometimes the message is powerful. So I'm just happy we are where we at right now, and
right.
I'm happy
Me
that you
too.
have done so much growing, and I am so impressed. I mean, I love everything about you and your journey. So tell everybody a little about yourself and your journey, because I mean, it is an amazing story, you guys. Hey, Luna.
Well, I can't are you seeing me okay? Everything's okay on this end now?
No, everything's suave-tastic.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I'm a mother of three.
Okay.
Entrepreneur,
Mm,
um just somebody that has lately been so excited about life and every day.
amen.
So it's not that my journey hasn't been hard. It's been hard. It's been challenging, but I'm just appreciating every day for what it is, and I'm grateful. So it's so much that I can say. But I this is my first time on the show, and I'm like kind of nervous a little
That's
bit, a little
okay.
bit, a little
Okay.
bit. But I do want to share and get this out. So it's been a journey. It's been
Yes.
a journey. And I was trying to think back, I was thinking about the show tonight and I'm thinking to myself, when did I start this? When did it all start for me? And when did it all make sense? When did it all hit me over the head? And I was just trying to think back to that point. And I think, when you get tired of being tired, and
Absolutely.
another thing you get tired of that's my point. I was tired of blaming others, tired of if this don't do it, then it won't get done. So and then that was another.
Uh-oh.
I remember
Hey, April.
I remember having a conversation. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I hear you. Go ahead.
I remember having a conversation and I thought I was making so much sense. And I was really feeling the conversation and I was saying, hey, this happened and I didn't have experience with this and this is the reason why this and that. And you listened to the whole thing. And then at the end you said, well, that was a lie. And I'm like, wait,
You
wait,
know,
wait. You said you said, that was a lie, right? Yeah, you did have this, and let me tell you why. You had the experience here, you had it here, you saw it here, you went to school, you had this, and you laid all this.
uh-oh. Okay.
Is this really good? Is the Wi-Fi acting up? What's
It's
happening?
okay. You can go ahead with your story. It just was a little glitch, but go ahead. You were saying, I said, this is a lie. This is this. You got
Yeah,
the
you just
education. You got
first
the.
called my little story. You called my little story a lie, and you was like, "Yeah, no, that ain't gonna get it, chick." So,
But let me
start
tell you.
again. So
Yeah.
I have had, I believe, a lot of hard people in my life. I don't think nobody's really like taking it easy with me. I would say that. So I think for the long run, it's been great. I
Yes.
love I love my people, I love my connections, and it's been great.
Yes. But just to share a little thing about, because a lot of times because what happens is we, justification, excuse making, explaining is all a synonym. You just like manipulation, lying, and deceit is all the same. And people forget things
Yeah.
are synonyms. And it reminds me of I was in a session with one of my patients. So and it was funny because I let them explain to everything about it. And they were sitting there. I said, well, it's your fault. They're like, wait a minute, how? People keep walking in my room. I keep telling people not to walk in my room. They keep doing it. They keep doing it. And I'm just so sick and tired of people crossing boundaries, being so disrespectful, walking in my room over and over. And I say, it's still your fault. They say, listen, I don't like this. How is it my fault? And so what happens is so many people are used to playing victim. They're not thinking about resolution. They're thinking about complaining. So people
Correct.
spend more time complaining than come up with resolution. So guess what? I say, you know what? It's your fault. You know why? They say, why, Mr. Walker? I say, because you didn't lock the door. See, things are not as hard as we think they are. But we, and sometimes we put all these excuses. Like I say, I can is easier to say than I can't. Use the extra effort. I can't. And so we have to have the mindset of elevation and I can attitude. But at the end of the day, things could be a lot easier if we have a more uplifting and positive attitude towards anything. And when we take ourselves out of the victim mentality,
the
the
victim
sky's the
role.
And so
Absolutely.
So as you were saying about me being all me, but now I may be
Very
sometimes
mean. Very
trust.
mean.
But anybody know me? Where is it coming from?
The heart. It's coming from a good place. Coming from a good place.
So, yeah, so the messenger may be a little rough on the edges, but it's always a message,
Yep, for sure. And I never left the conversation like in a bad mood or anything like that. It always taught me something. And I think sometimes some things that you thought would actually push my buttons later on, I think that's when you started saying, okay, I see you growing, I see you. Yes. And things that used to bother me less and less. And
exactly.
Even my kids, my son would tell me a lot. He'd say, Mommy, this is not the mommy who raised us. This is just different because this normally would have sent you over the top, or this was, a time when you probably would have hit the roof, but you didn't. So they're learning as well as me growing. So it's been a journey.
That's the journey. I tell people, it's if you can take some of my harsher ways, you're going to get some out of it. Just like the elementary teacher, the ones who are elementary, the nice ones, like I always tell people, the people who tell you about yourself, they're the ones who love and care for you. The people who don't say anything, those are the ones who take you for granted. And it's like that elementary teacher. They were strict on you, but guess what? You got great grades and your self-esteem improved and you got structure. The ones who didn't care, they just let you act up and everybody was happy about the undisciplined and no structure. But guess what? Their grades was low and ultimately their self-esteem fell because they end up being retained.
And those are the teachers you remember too.
Exactly.
Those are the teachers you remember. Because I think my favorite teacher was probably my meanest teacher.
Yes.
But what was the reward was at the end when I did pass that class and she said, I was hard on you because I always knew you could do better.
Yes.
So,
and I'm glad. But see, the thing is, it's no matter what I know or whatever, it's all about you and your ability to embrace. And that's through humility and understanding, because at the end of the day, it takes your life to another level. So in saying that, I want to ask you a question, because what you're doing, how you operating, because as much as I criticize, I will edify. So I'm seeing, that's why I tell you, I see your growth all the time. And so it definitely exemplifies self-love. So I wanted to know, what does self-love mean to you?
Wow. It means taking the time to put me first. It means unselfishness. It means peace. It means caring about myself. It means, man, that it means everything to me.
Yes,
it means everything to me.
Yes. Kudos to you, because for years people didn't understand how to love themselves. So it is.
And we always said, I think we had this conversation when I said, I think we're taught how to. No, I think I had this conversation with my son, but we're taught to love others.
Mm-hmm.
And I think parents just assume that kids love themselves or know how to. You know what I mean? I think we all assume people just love themselves. And we can see from the world we live in with suicide the way it is, that it's apparently with people running to shacks to get plastic surgery or don't like the way they look. It's
Mhm.
apparent that everybody don't love themselves, or
Ooh,
especially love the way they came into the world. So they always
absolutely.
want to change something about themselves, but that's apparent. But still, we just assume as parents, because I remember the first hard conversation that I had with my daughter, and she was struggling with some things, and I had to have a self love talk with her, and I just figured,
Mhm.
this is someone that I raised. I'm like, wait a minute, she has the, I just thought that that's just automatic, but no, it's not.
Yes.
It's actually, you actually have to want it. You
Yes.
actually have to work for it.
Yes.
You actually have to do the work, because no, it's not just gonna
Mhm.
happen, because it's so many things to keep you busy, especially if you're a parent, you're working, you're doing this, you're doing that. It's sometimes you go years and
Mm.
don't even know what you want as an
Absolutely.
individual. You're like a robot. You go to work, you do the same things every day. You do this, you're in a relationship, you do the same thing, you're caring for your husband, or you're caring for, and you're doing so much that you just don't even know that you haven't even stopped to take care of you. Or when is the
Yes.
last time you stopped to take care of you?
Yes.
So
And,
it's
and, and,
not
and
easy. It's not just something that happens, or it'll just one day it'll happen. No, you have to really be dedicated to loving yourself.
mm, I'm glad you said that because again, with these assumptions, they're so terrible. We assume that a person supposed to know how to love themselves or assume that they love themselves. It's just like we assume people know how to do things. It's like I always say, because I'm a man advocate, and I was like, well, how you expect these young brothers to become men through osmosis? They ain't have nobody to teach them. You get it? And
Yeah,
the same thing
yeah,
about love. We have to teach our children everything about love, self-respect, self-worth, everything, because we bring them on the earth, and our ultimate responsibility to teach them about
right.
self-esteem, suicide. Never be afraid to have those hard talks. And so we're going to go into a commercial break because it's going to lead into our next question. So we'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Okay.
And we're back. Yes. So listen. So as we was talking about, people learning things through osmosis, and you were saying about people saying, assuming they love, or we're assuming that they love themselves. So my question to you is self love just words, or is it actions to you? Because words are words and actions are actions. But I want to hear your perspective on it.
Is self love just words, or is there actions? It's definitely actions.
Hey man, give me a high five on that.
Is that it is definitely actions, because
Yes.
like I said, you will get so busy
Hmm.
um doing for others, and it's definitely action.
Yes.
It's definitely
Absolutely.
action.
Because many of us say we love ourselves, but that's just a word.
Facts. Facts.
You
And you
gotta.
can, your lifestyle will tell it as well. Your
Yes.
lifestyle will tell it. I mean, when you're, like you said, when you're complaining about being done a certain way that you're not happy with, or you're complaining that the world is against you, is a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times it's because you don't see yourself. And if you
Yes.
don't love yourself, you can't see yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times it's not even you find fault in everything that you're focusing on, because the focus is not on you.
Yes. Yes. And that's the thing. And so now when you say that, it just triggers me to say, because for years I always hear people always saying selfish is wrong. And I'm like, no, because I mean, we hear all the time when you go on an airplane, the first thing you put it on yourself. And I think what happens is people forget how important um the selfishness when it comes to self-love. Nobody should be able to love you more than you love yourself. And I think what happens is um people spend more time worrying about what people think about you if you decide to put yourself first. You understand?
Right.
And
Right.
people don't realize, like, here's an example. You got one heart, one life, one soul. You protect it at all costs. Oh, the marriage village, self-love is action. Your lifestyle will tell it. Love that. That's Miss Guma. She loved what you said. It is powerful what you said. So back to it. You got one heart, one life, one soul. Protected at all costs. So look at this.
Absolutely.
So look at this. Now, Tonda, if you got a couple of dollars, you can afford to let me hold one or two, right? Because you
That
got extra. You ain't just got $1. You got a couple of dollars. So if I need it, you can like, hey, let me hold a dollar. Or let's say, God forbid, I need a kidney. A person can let someone hold a kidney because you can live off one. You know, but the thing is, you can't lend nobody a heart. You can't lend
no,
nobody a life. You can't lend
no.
nobody a soul. So people got to understand how important it is to love yourself some you. You are the most important person. And this is what I'm saying. Being selfish and operating through actions, you leading by example. And so your children be able to see that. So people say, well, why? It looks like you're selfish. No, you're showing them how a person with self-love characteristics, self-worth characteristics, and you showing them what self-love looks like.
Oh, you're going to be accused of being selfish. You're going to be accused of not caring. You're going to be called some names. But yeah, and it's okay.
It is
It's okay.
okay.
It's okay.
Because you putting that lifeline on you so you can breathe. Because let's say, God forbid, you decide to give that lifeline to the baby. What that baby's gonna do? Take it all. You put it on yourself, and then put it on the baby, and then you can manage it. But you decide like I'm gonna
Right.
give it to the baby. That's not gonna make sense. You're not gonna say the baby, and both of you are gonna perish.
Right. And I always say you give out of the reserve. So once you're overflowing, then that's what you can give to others. But you definitely have to overflow. So you definitely have to see
Absolutely.
you first. You definitely have to love you first, so that you can feed others
Yes.
from the overflow.
Yeah. You
So
don't
that
give it
way
from
you're not
yours. You give it
starving.
from the overflow. Hey man, look at you.
Yes.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. That's some
Yeah.
powerful thing. Y'all hear that? You give from the overflow. The overflow. If your cup is not overflowing, then you need every bit of that water and every bit of that
You
love.
need you got work to do. That means you got
Mhm.
work to do.
You got work to do.
That means you have work to do. Yeah. It's not a bad thing either. It's not a bad thing. When your cup is not full, that's just time that should tell you that's your alert. Okay, it's time to focus on me. So when
Exactly.
I'm full, then I have something to give, because you ever found yourself talking to somebody that's miserable, and then you walk away feeling worse than you were when you first came to them to talk. And it's like, no. So yeah, you
April
definitely.
Jones. Yes, but see, that's the thing. So, in your opinion, do you think many are loving others way before they learn to love themselves?
Absolutely. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I did it for over 20 years. I did
So,
it.
So share. Do a
So
little sharing. You ain't got to go to all of the details, but give us some of the sauce. Let us
no,
know.
it's when you're in a relationship and when that relationship is over,
Yes, Trey.
you don't even know what you like, something's wrong.
Mm,
You don't even know what like if you had to think, not I'm not gonna say even not that you have to think for yourself, but I'm saying if you don't know what it is that you like to do, because the only thing you've ever been focused on was we, us, our, because you never had time for just you.
hmm
Something's wrong. And when you lose yourself like that, and I never want to lose myself like that again.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, um, you guys who's listening, she's saying something so powerful because unbeknownst to a lot of people, they lose themselves. And it's my personal belief that you can't, only because you can lose. I always felt you can lose your watch, you can lose your shirt, but you can't lose yourself. But when you think about losing yourself in terms of your identity and who you are and the greatness who you are, it makes perfect sense that people actually lose who they are. They don't know who they are, what direction they're going, the things they
Because
like.
when you lose that person that you put yourself into, where do you find you?
Where's
Where
your
were you?
identity?
Yeah, where were you? So when that person is no longer around, people go into dark spaces and don't even know how to fight their way out.
Yeah.
So it's like working out. You know, you work out, and that's something that I've been doing because
Okay. Okay.
I've been dedicated to myself. So you know, when you work out and you stop for a while,
hmm
and when you have to start back over, it's harder to keep starting over, to keep starting over. So you just should keep going so you don't have to get back to that low point.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about working on me.
Mm.
So I do it every day. And it's not like I got it all together and I finally got it all figured out, but it's something that I work on every day. In different situations that comes up, I have to check myself. Well, where are you in this? How do you feel about it? Because sometimes we want to know how the other person feels or how other people feel before we want to know how we feel about it. And sometimes
Yeah.
we are carrying on situations and totally miserable, all
Yeah.
because it makes the other person happy. So it's an everyday journey. It's an everyday decision.
Yeah. It has to be.
Loving yourself is an everyday decision.
Yes, it's you have to have balance, and I'm glad you say that, because it was the next question I was going to ask you, but I want to address when you were saying sometimes we have to self check ourselves because sometimes we don't have people to do it for us, so we have to have a sense of awareness because who to say you're going to have a coach? Who say you're going to have accountability partner? Who's going to say that you even aware that you're gaining weight or aware that you're doing something that's so counterproductive or aware that you're not even loving yourself like you should? And so this goes into my next question. How important do you think it is to have an accountability partner, a mentor, or a life coach in your life?
It's very important. It's just so funny that all of my friends are those type of people. you
God,
you included. You included. All of my friends are those kind of people. Like April, Dr. April,
yes,
who
I
you see
saw her
down
on
there, keep
there.
responding. That's my man. That's my
Yes,
Suge. That's my Suge. I'm her
yeah, I
mate.
see her on
We
supporting
we
you.
we hold each other accountable. We talk about anything. She's been there for me. I mean, she was once my at one point in my journey, she was my spiritual mother.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
we've been through and back for a while now. So
and
she
Quillen Monroe.
yeah, that's
Oh
my
man,
sister. So I have definitely have people that would definitely hold me accountable, and that's very important. That I don't have people around. I don't have people around that just tells me what I want to hear.
yes.
So
Trey
yeah,
said we love Suge. And Quillen Monroe says Where is she now? I mean, what is she now? But
So
I
she
mean,
that's my Suge. That's Suge.
let me tell you,
That her
it,
her husband,
Brandon Wilson.
Brandon. Well, that's my brother.
Okay,
He don't tell me what I want to hear either.
thank you,
So
Brandon. Quillen say right, right.
so I
Well, see, this is
definitely
the
have
thing.
those people in my
It's
life that will tell me like it is.
yeah, and this is why they say surround yourself with people who's going to hold you accountable and keep you sharp, and you grow and develop. And what happens is people who don't want that, that's why they stay in the same place year in and year out. And then they get caught up and don't realize they haven't grown. It's like, you know me, I disturb the peace, because sometimes that peace is so counterproductive because you're so at peace because you're not used to nobody holding you accountable, but you're not growing.
Right, right,
See,
right.
iron sharpens iron. People say that for a reason. You don't want no dull knives because a dull is dull. A dull knife doesn't be able to cut things. A dull doesn't grow. It doesn't. It just stays stagnant. And so when
And
you
and
have
that
people
and
like
that
you
and
have,
that aggravates. That stagnation aggravates me. It aggravates me, and I love experiences now. I love life
ooh,
experiences. So I can't. I don't like stagnation.
yes, because it's so counterproductive, you know. And it's like, you know, you shouldn't be. I don't know who the person was. They said if you having the same mentality at 20 that you have, I mean, having at 40 that you had at 20, you're not growing. But as far as I'm concerned, it shouldn't take that long. If you still having the same mentality 365 day one, January 1st, day one, all the way to December, at the end of December, it's like you're not growing. Because remember how you say every day you're growing. We're supposed to be growing, grabbing books, trying to learn to try to make
And then
ourselves
you
better.
wonder. So you wonder if people hear themselves telling the same story over and over again, telling the same complaint over and over again. It's like, do
No,
you hear yourself? That it's the
no, they don't.
same. It's the same. It's a new year, but it's the same. It's the
Yeah,
same. So that's another thing. That's another part of paying attention to yourself.
exactly. And you know, one of the things you say, like when we were talking about, I guess it triggered me to say the new year. Every year, people saying the same thing. I'm going to do this. Here's my New Year's resolution. And they go right back after 30 to 60 days to the same patterns. And they want credit saying they tried. You've been trying for 30 years. You've been trying for 20 years. You've been trying for 20 years, 10 years. And I think some people want credit for that. And I'm like,
And it's
no.
it's
It's like,
not a it's not a challenge. It's not a challenge. It's a lifestyle.
yes, exactly. It's a lifestyle, you know. And give me a high five on that. Just give me a high five. Because that's what it is. It's a
It's not
lifestyle.
a challenge.
It's not some, well, I'm just going to do this for the New Year's resolution. I'm not going to just be eating right for this. I'm not going to be worrying about my personal growth development. I'm not just going to be learning about self-love. This is a lifestyle.
Hmm.
This is who you become.
Right.
And the thing is, you become wiser and you realize, like, man, there's so much I didn't know, but there's so much I can learn so that I can grow. And it's a powerful thing. So I wanted to ask you this because let me say, who is this Quillen? It says, oh, she did say you was a ride or die chick. He said, what do you say? Um, you better talk that talk. Okay. Who is this person? Quillen?
That's my sister.
Oh, okay. She is a ride or die. She seems like she got your back. So
She always got my back.
yes, I see. And the question I wanted to ask you is, how important is humility in this journey?
Very important.
Why?
And that goes along with not being a know-it-all.
Mm-hmm. Well, go
Because
ahead.
and I say that
Share, because
because
I mean, you know, we
I say
amongst
that
family,
because
so
I say that because when you know everything or you think you know everything, then you stop taking in, or you feel like you've arrived, or you feel like you don't need any more.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can tell you nothing, and that's not practicing humility. And if you're in that place, then that's, to me, that's a scary place to be. That's a scary
You
place
know
to be,
what?
to feel like, oh, I got it, I got everything I need to know about life. Are you crazy? You know how vast life is. You know how much you know
Yes.
how much goes on in the
Yes.
world for you just to close off your mind
Yes.
at 30, 40, 50, or 60. I don't care how old you are. If you think that's all it, that's it, and you've experienced everything
Yes.
there is
It,
to
it, it
experience,
stopped right there.
that's scary. That scares me.
Yes.
So
But
I find that I'm a great listener. I love to listen. I'm not big on talking. A lot of people that knows me will tell you, Tonda don't talk a lot, but when she talks, she has something to say. But I don't talk a lot. I'm not a big talker. But I love to listen and I love to learn.
yeah,
So
I can testify. Listen, that's why let's share our private dialogue. I'm always telling you, you are an amazing person. You are growing and learning. You just, because people spend more time complaining about people, but they don't take the effort to recognize people when they're growing, you know? And I have to say, you are a powerful person. I mean, you grow and again, you have the ability to listen, take it on, and it's the progress that you make. I can almost say it's like the tangible stuff, but you can't see progress. I mean, you can't feel progress, but you can see it. Your progress is so thick that I can just grab it, because I'm telling you. I mean, and when you were sitting there saying about the know-it-all, the sad thing I'll always say about those individuals, their egos are bigger than their accomplishments, and so and they're the ones who don't take the time to read. They don't take the time to study. They don't take the time to invest in people, their community, but they always got something to say and think they know stuff. And the funny thing is, they don't know much because they're not putting any time into trying to learn. And guess what? I had a know-it-all tell me nobody can mentor me except my mom. I like, yeah,
wow,
they told me
wow,
that it's nobody on earth able to mentor and develop them except their mom. I say, okay, you get it, and so,
wow,
hey,
wow.
I'm like,
And,
wow,
that has its place, but you have to be able to grow outside of the capacity of your parents. I mean, wow.
yes, yes, yeah. That's what
Wow. I mean, that's just,
that
I
was just
just,
say,
if
wow.
I was to hear my kids say that, I would probably shake them. Like, are you nuts? You better know more than me. You better get above my level. What is wrong with you? No, that is crazy. But hey,
But I see you such as a brilliant, bright person, but look all these support systems, all these mentors, accountability partners. See, that's wisdom.
that's my community.
Yes, but these
That's my
other people,
community.
you know how we were saying about osmosis, so they just learn everything and know everything through just knowing.
Mm,
It just pops up
mm,
on them, right?
mm, mm.
Well, I tell you.
And even the youngest person, from the youngest to the oldest, from
Hmm.
somebody that who you think their life isn't all together, you can always learn something from somebody if you listen. If you listen, everybody has value to them. I don't care what they're in, everybody has value to them. But if you just think you're totally filled up and there's just no room for improvement, that is sad. That is sad.
Wow. Um, Man, we've been going on. We're gonna have to take another commercial break. I'm sorry, but we'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, look at you, man. Let me tell y'all, man. I'm cheesing over here because I mean, this is just something that I've been waiting on and being able to just, I love your story. I love your journey. I love the experience of, watching you grow and seeing all the people who so into your life, man. You definitely have a team. Um, so since you have this team and your pursuit of self-love, living your best life, living your best, living for purpose. So what are some of the things you've learned in your journey in this personal growth and development journey?
Community is important.
Okay.
Um, Me time is important.
Hmm.
Peace is a non-negotiable.
Yes. You're telling me.
Um, Experiences are spaces for growth. So I don't knock any experiences. I don't care if they're considered wrong. I mean, bad or good. It doesn't matter to me. I don't. I think I learn from every experience. I know I learn from every experience. So I think those are the things I would say.
Okay. 'Cause
Acceptance as well.
yeah,
Acceptance.
Brandon said non-negotiable. That piece is non-negotiable.
Yeah,
I used to
peace
have on
is
my refrigerator.
non-negotiable.
Anything interferes with my peace, my relationship with my God, and my profession. We just got to go our separate ways because your peace is important.
Hmm.
Your personal relationship with your God is always important, and your profession because that's how you make your money. That's how you keep a roof over your head. That's how you provide for your family, and those things are vital. So we have to have peace because when your mind is not right, it affects everything in your life.
Absolutely.
And so that
Absolutely.
has to be something that has to be non-negotiable. And so and as you say that, so the current Tonda, what would you tell a young Tonda? Mm, mm, mm.
It's not over yet. It's okay. It's gonna
It's,
be okay.
well, I need
It's it's it's
a little more meat
it's,
and
it's
potatoes in terms of decision making
man.
in life and
You every I think we've all been in this in a place where you feel like this is it, or it ain't gonna get no better than this,
mm-hmm,
or I thought this was the best it was,
mm-hmm.
and just to keep going, just to keep fighting another day and find out no, it's better. No, it's more.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean. I would tell her that because I think sometimes she was in dark places and she
Mm-hmm,
felt like, oh, it's not going to get any better.
mm-hmm.
Or, but yeah, I can tell her keep pressing. It does.
Yes, keep pressing. Keep
Hmm.
pressing. That's the thing, you have to keep pressing.
And don't settle and
Oh,
put you first.
yes. 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 All that settling and compromising, all that settling,
Be
compromising.
happy, be
No,
happy first. Be happy first. And if the right person around you, they'll be happy too. And if they're not,
uh,
they're not for you.
no.
So yeah.
And the thing is sometimes people struggle with those basic things. Basic things. Those are not complicated. That's why I asked you, what would you tell the current time to tell the young time? And the same thing for all of us. Is that
Hey D.
oh,
Hey,
that's D. It said non-negotiable of expanded consciousness. Who is that? Tell me who that is.
that's April's husband. That's my pops. That's Papa. That's Papa.
That's
Papa
Papa
David.
Doc.
That's Papa
What's
David.
going on, D. Daniel? Thank you for your support. Yes, and that's the thing. Sometimes you have these irrational thoughts, and it's thinking that it's over. It's not. You got to grow. You got to be open to suggestions, mentors, and realizing you're going to see things differently later if you just take the time to invest in yourself. Who was Quillen? She said, turn and up and up. Open up the word. Oh, turn to the word and talk to your father. Amen. Okay, I see it. Okay. Amen. And so again, and so it said, "What's good, brother?" That's Papa Doc. Everything's suave-tastic, brother. So again, and like I say, man, this you giving some positive words, some powerful words. Listen, I want. So you say that you would tell the young not to give up, keep pressing, keep pressing on,
Because
because
I think I've always felt like I was strong. I think I've always felt like, that since, young, but at the same time, I feel a different kind of strength now.
explain us what that strength is.
It's 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 not all about what I do,
Uh huh.
but it's about what I attract. It's about me being what I want to be around me. So, um I try to give out what I want. So I try to create that same vibe. That I try to create that same atmosphere for me. So it's more of not working so hard. Let me say that. So I think I was working hard for the approval of people, or working hard for, I guess I would say, different kind of approvals in that aspect. But just to know that I'm strong without the approval of anybody else
Yeah.
is it's a different kind of strength. Just knowing that, what I carry is a part of what I am. It's a part of what I create. It's a different kind of strength. So I feel more empowered,
Yeah.
more stronger, and more reliant on what's going to come back because of what I put out, instead of guessing my way through the universe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or wait, or anxiously feeling like what I want will never come. So it's a different kind of strength. It's a different kind of empowerment.
Yeah. But but your self love is intentional.
Absolutely. And the way I love others is intentional.
Exactly. And then that means you able to have all these positive people. You're not just going with your head up in the air. You're doing everything is intentional. You're speaking
Hmm.
positive into your life. You're not speaking it, but you're doing it. Is intentional. You're mindful of who you are transparent with. You're mindful who you share with. You're mindful of what comes out your mouth. You're mindful of what you listen to. It says, Brandon, when you know and embrace who you are. Absolutely. So everything is intentional. When and this is a part of that
Yeah.
personal development. You're not just saying I love myself some me. You actually living it and breathing it. It is intentional because
I
it,
used to, but I don't say it anymore. I don't have to say it anymore, but I used to.
would
Sometimes you got to speak it. Sometimes you got to speak it until you be it.
yeah, but
Because
the thing
I
is,
remember saying it. So
yes, but it has to be backed up with actions. And
have to
that's what
be.
it is, the
It
intention.
have to be.
Yes, yes. And that's a powerful thing. It's like, when you're doing things intentionally, it's by design. And so when you're doing this, you have to do everything intentionally. Like you say, speak it and you will be it. That's right, Trey. And that's the thing. But it has to be followed with actions. And
Yes.
I like that what you're saying. You following up with what you're saying. It's not just words with you, it's actions. So what are some of the decisions you think that many individuals make when they lack self-love?
Say that again.
Okay, what are some decisions you think many people make when they lacking self-love, when they don't have it? What kind of decisions? Because you remember how you were saying losing your identity and not knowing who you are. So when people don't have self-love, what kind of decisions you think they make?
I think they can make some poor life damaging experiences. some 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 actually um, time wasting experience, time wasting decisions. Um, yeah, I would say you can make a lot of mistakes. You make a lot of big mistakes that cost you a lot of time and time that you can't get back, and also yeah, that
Okay.
can be it can be dangerous. It can be dangerous
Yes, it really can. I'm going to come
because
back to
I
that, but
remember I remember making reckless decisions because I didn't know the me that I could be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
mhm,
just gonna from what I know, you can really make reckless decisions.
okay. I want you to go back, but I want to acknowledge Papa Doc. He says, when you decide intentionally to tap and tune into the higher frequency without fear, the best version of you will come forth.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Um, so again, yeah, making poor decisions, it can have lifelong ramifications,
Mm-hmm.
you know. They really can, Sometimes people um get what they think they're getting away, but it's poor decisions. I would say can create a lot of generational curses, a lot of patterns of repetitions, and it creates a sanity cycle because poor decisions, again, like I say, when you're sometimes confused, it's easy to see things backwards. So people see these things all backwards because they constantly making poor decisions because they're doing things backwards. They confused about the direction of order and life. It's A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. It's not three, or seven, 4, and then 6. It's order to everything. And so it's important
Correct.
that you was a you about to shut your mouth. Yes, Lord. But you know what I'm saying? It's an order to things, and people don't understand. It's order. And so they constantly making decisions. Remember earlier when I was saying about some examples that they want to be in a relationship, but they don't want to work on themselves. They want to have children before they get married. Everything has an order. And I think sometimes these are some of the poor decisions that people make, which ultimately leads in generational curses and some of the things that I would say one of the most painful experiences is the pain of regret. And that's why it's important that you have people who hold you accountable. You have people who love you enough to tell you the truth. You know, they're not trying to hurt your feelings. They're trying to give you a sense of awareness because they see in certain things you don't. And that's why it's important to have people around us. You know, I mean, I'm, you know, I'll be
But
25
a
soon.
part of that as well is when it all comes around, hopefully, for that person or that individual, it's like um there's still a lot of hope. There's still a lot that can be learned from those mistakes. So even
Yes.
though those mistakes will happen, it's not too late.
No,
It's
it's definitely not.
you can always learn from them. You can always grow from them because again, like I said, experiences will teach you something. Somebody talking in your ear can't.
Yeah.
So
But it's definitely to
that
capitalize
piece
on
is very
things.
important.
It's best to learn from them. Not if you're going to have these hardships and experience, trust, it's important
Learn,
that you learn from them.
absolutely, absolutely,
Yes. And Trey say hope.
absolutely.
If you go, ego, we don't want to waste those experiences, do we? You want to learn from them. You know, you want to learn what you don't want to experience again. That pain, make that pain that you experience
Absolutely.
worthwhile. You know, you don't want to just sit there and have an experience and do it again. Like, oh wow, let me put my hand on the hot fire. Oh shoot, that burnt. Let me try it again. No, you like, I know that is not
Right.
the, the right thing to do. Hmm. Yes.
I had to like take a step back, even with talking with my kids. It's like I can help them up to a certain level, but at the same time, I understand that they're experiencing some things that I haven't. So I can't speak 100% on where their experience is because I've never been there. I can
Yes.
just help with what I know and what I can assist with, but I don't know their experience. I know mine, and I can speak for mine, but mine is not going to always, you know, coincide with what they're doing. So
Yes.
I have to give them the positive piece that I can give them, the piece that'll strengthen them as far as who they are within. But as far as their decisions and how they're going to walk through their experiences, it has to be their journey.
Yes.
As
It
much as
does.
I want their journey to be perfect, it's not going to be no perfect than mine was. But at the same time,
Absolutely.
I think they should be at a better place at their age than I was at their age.
Yes.
So
My cousin said, same outcomes always. And Trey says, ain't nobody got time to be going through the same thing over and over. That's right, Trey. Insanity cycle. Don't be, ain't nobody got time for that. And the thing is that you say, those experiences, they're there to learn from. You know, they're, hey Randy, how you doing? They're there to learn from. And we have to really appreciate those experiences. And I like your empathy, because one thing about being parents, we act like our children are in the same generation that we were. And I like, no, they have
mm-mm.
different pressures. They have
Yep,
media, the
absolutely.
bullying, the cyberbullying. They have cell phones. They have, and so I keep telling them, like, we was in a different era. Like, we had to go read books and find work sites and go through the encyclopedias. They just got Google, and so and we say, well, they don't have patience. You probably wouldn't have patience if we had Google 30 years ago. You know, so
Right.
we
Whole
have to
different
be
time,
empathetic to that.
different experiences.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different experiences, but sometimes we forget, and it's important that we have empathy. And I like the fact that you was very open-minded and say, listen, sometimes you got to step back and let them learn through those experiences, because we can't spend all our time teaching, and then when it's time for them to go out and learn, operate what we taught them, they need to go out there and learn and put all the pieces together
Nope.
and make us proud. But they need the opportunity to do that.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. Because I like when they come back and tell me the story.
oh yes,
I love when they don't fought their way through something and they say, Mommy, guess what happened? I love those stories. When they can come back and tell me I got through it, this is what happened, and this is how I handled it. I love those stories.
mm, mm,
So
mm. Man. Well, Papa Doxy says, Tonda, we're super proud of your growth and increased wisdom, family. Woo, they proud of you. Listen, man, I'm proud of her. I'm happy. Listen, this has been a quick
thanks, Pop.
hour. I went by so quick. Well, man, I'm so happy. I'm so honored that you came on. I'm happy that you shared your story. I hope that people are able to understand, connect, and identify with the power of growth, self love, and your journey in personal growth and development. I really appreciate you. You're always welcome to come on the show at any time. Trey, your son is
Thank
just
you
happy
for the
and proud of you.
opportunity.
So if you want to give anything, how people can contact you, or if you want to mentor somebody, or just some last words that you would like to say before we conclude.
I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. I am Tonda Kennedy on Facebook. You can always reach me there. And thank everyone for coming on and supporting me. It's been great. I look time to talk about my story and about me. And hopefully I helped someone. Hopefully I made someone smile, someone's night better, and actually made their outlook on life a little brighter. So thanks.
Thank you. So this have been episode 6. It was a amazing experience. I'm so happy that we was able to share. Again, we was able to engage, enlighten, enhance, entertain, and empower you guys. And thank you for showing up, because we always willing to show up and show out on Dr. Brother Suave. And we just thank you for coming out. So I just remember, I love you. I mean it. And great minds reach great places. Love you, mean it. Bye-bye.
Thanks, family.
This program was made possible by Neighborhood Planet Broadcasting Systems, Neighborhood Planet Network, and from contributions to NPNTv from viewers like you.